I think there's a kind of new understanding about the value of research in society. Being a researcher allows you all kinds of possibilities, not just in terms of your personal understanding, but also that that's part of an expanded world of thinking. The School of Art is within a Russell Group university. That's really important for our students because what that means is that the kinds of projects and research we might be engaging within are not confined to art, design and media. The kinds of research outcomes aren't just publications, they're not just journal articles. It could be a virtual sound piece, it could be an installation, it could be an event. One of the great things about working within this university setting is that we work with an incredible roster of partners. One of our key impact projects here within the school is the work that we've been doing since 2011 with the COUTURE Museeris Biennale. So the research becomes something that's about engaging, it's not static.
What we're looking for is the way in which art connects with people and what they're doing. There's an encompassing notion of practice. Practice is everything we do, really. If you're making a sculpture, installation, you're curating, you're writing, even teaching, all of these things I think of, they're practices. And then the critical element of practice is that we're engaged socially, culturally, politically in what we're doing, certainly as a research group. The typical shape of the PhD is a funnel. You begin wide and you move in. And you've got to have a contribution to knowledge and you've also got to show systematic understanding of that knowledge.
I think once I got onto the PhD programme, it really kind of made me critical about what I was doing. The writing enriched the practice and the other way around. I work around archives and images, but it also crosses into visual cultures. We have the Special Collections Gallery, which is a purpose-built gallery for archive material. And the books exhibition was very much about the physicality of the books. The printing, the making, the binding.
One of the opportunities of being at an art school means you can work with artists, and that means that it affects the kind of writing that we would do. I do a lot of editing, and there's, I think, a strong connection between editing a journal or editing a book and curating a show. If you think about archaeology as a media and technology, one of the things that it wants to do is it wants to look at paths not taken, perhaps. How did the world get to be what it is today? How could it be otherwise? We want to have an international and global outlook with the research, and we also want to have issues of politics.
Our research and the books we write deal with modern media technologies as part of science, military, and other technological developments and change. We take a very historical angle to contemporary technological culture. Archaeology for us is media archaeology. It means excavating the layers of technological culture. We are also a group that wants to combine theory and practice. One key term that keeps coming back to our work is the post-digital. For several years, we have worked especially with Transmediale, organizing panels, organizing events. So it becomes this exchange between practitioners, activists of digital culture, and the research we do.
AMT is an office for research, the metaphor of office. It's not simply a metaphor, it has quite of a moving material relation to filing, archiving, putting things in cabinets.
As we're in an art school, we focus particularly on the artistic elements and the cultural aspects. When we're looking at luxury in terms of art and design, then we're looking at objects, craft, skills, high value, rarity. When we come to defining luxury, we need to recognise that it's broad and actually it is socially constructed. Professor John Armitage and I have developed the idea of critical luxury studies, which fills a gap in the academic work on luxury.
We are the only research group that really is exploring luxury in contemporary terms, and also understanding luxury as something that needs to be thought about critically. When we're talking about luxury fashion, we need to explain that term more carefully. Are we talking about global mass market luxury brands? Are we talking about individual creative designers? Are we talking about very, very exclusive high-end haute couture? How fashion is represented in film, in literature, in contemporary media is always inspirational to me. So the term fashion thinking, for me, allows me to encompass all of those different aspects of fashion and give it the critical importance it deserves.
I originally studied textile design, and then I was working for 3 years as an art director with luxury brands. So I'm looking at how we can reimagine luxury and why we value things that are made by hand more than things that are made by machine, for example. So I'm looking at ideas of preciousness instead.
Within the group, we're looking at different aspects of luxury. How is it going to inform things in the future? Big part of the research that I'm doing now is looking at luxury and children. What do children think of luxury, and what do brands mean to them? And in particular, I was very much inspired at Winchester. I'd been looking at identity for a number of years in a number of different contexts, but I started to look at the curation of identity, and that came out from being within a school of art. For me, I think it's brought out the real creative side of it, rather than always looking at the written word.
When we talk about research, people tend to think about the collecting of data and information, about thinking about through the ideas or the intellectual concerns. But also we're in a school of art and design where form and function and aesthetics become really important, and they're also critical aspects of thinking.